Right, good day, scholars. Today we're going to make the user interface for your donation app. So now I've been looking at this. We're going to do it in a bit of a different way, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through it. So first off, we're not going to add the Spanish versions of this. We can do that later with a button. We might add that in there actually as we're doing it. This screen is going to allow users to donate. I'm assuming looking at it, it looks like to donate money. We're going to let them choose the amount they wish to donate. We're going to let them choose where they would like to donate it to, specific charities, and we'll let them confirm it and all that kind of stuff. We'll make it look kind of official. And then this screen, if they need free food, we're going to have it to where they can choose which food bank they want to go to. And we're going to let them choose the different like food staples that they'd like to have when they go to pick it up. Okay, so it's not going to look exactly like this. I'm going to change it around a little bit so it'll work as an application. So just a heads up on that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to MIT App Inventor. And we're going to go to Projects. I'm going to start a new project. And I'm going to call it Donation App 2021, just so I remember, because I have a lot of apps, obviously. And then once we get into here, we're going to change it to a tablet size. At least that's what I do because it's easier for me. Use whatever size you want. It doesn't matter too much as long as you use percentages. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make this, and we're going to do two buttons, and we'll add a third one for them to change the language. But first we need to put your guys' logo in there. So we're going to add an image. So I'm taking an image from the palette over here, and I'm going to put it into the app. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to add our logo. Now I don't have your guys' logo on my computer. So I'm just going to use an example one, but you guys can upload an example one as well and add yours later, or if you have yours, you could send it to your group mates, whatever you guys need to do. But that's how you upload the logo, okay? Now it's on the left side here, which isn't good. So we're going to go to screen one, and we're going to align horizontal center. And now our logo's in the center. And we're going to add three buttons underneath. Before we do that, we're going to grab an arrangement, and we're just going to use this arrangement as a spacer. So I know it's gray. It's going to be invisible in the application, okay? But we're gonna put some buttons in here. We're gonna put three. So the first button is going to be donate now. Second is get free food. The third will be language. So I'm just going to click on each of them and change the text. So donate now. Get free food. And I'm not sure if that's the words you want to use. You can, use what you want. But maybe, you might want to change it to search donated food or search, get free food is fine. And then the third one we're going to put, English, okay? And we're going to have that change to the word Spanish when they hit it. We're going to put language, :space English. And we'll have the text change as they change it. And we're actually going to, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make donate now look a little bit better. Okay, so as you can see, I'm changing the font size to 35. I'm making it bold. You can change the shape of things. You can change the colors of things. I'm just choosing random colors. I'm going to make the width 40 for each of these, actually. 50. Width 50. And try and make things consistent, right? If you have one rounded, make both of them rounded. I'm going to make this a different color because it's for the language. Make it yellow, I guess. You can bold that as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take another layout and I'm going to put it between these so I can put the language button pretty low. So I'm going to make the height of that about 5. That way it's not connected to those two. So this is a good start. Okay, change the colors how you want, do what you want, but we got 3 buttons here and we'll code those later. But let's make the screens first. So we have our donate screen, okay, which is going to take us to this screen, and we're going to make that together. So let's do that now. So we're going to go to add screen. I'm going to call it the donate screen. Hit OK. And it'll open up a new blank screen for you. And what we're going to add first is we're going to add a label. Boom. And we're going to have the label say, who would you like to donate to? You know what? Let's change it to choose a charity. Okay. I'm going to bold it. I'm going to make the font like, 45 or so. Let's go to the donate screen here and align horizontal center. And this way we can put a spinner here. And we can make that spinner, 50% width maybe. And we can prompt it. Actually, we don't need to prompt it because it says choose a charity right there. We're going to let users choose which charity they want to donate to. So I'm going to Google Santa Fe charities. You may need to do your own Googling because I'm not doing it. I'm obviously just looked it up. So Insight, University of Think New Mexico, and then YouthWorks will do. Insight, Think New Mexico, YouthWorks. So I'm going to go to my elements of the string. I'm going to put Insight. I'm going to put YouthWorks. I'll put, what was the third one I found? Think New Mexico. The big thing here is you can put as many as you want, really. But when you type one, right, if you're going to add another one, comma, space, and then type the next one, okay? That way, each of these will be separated by a comma and a space, and that means when a user clicks on this, it will give them a drop-down list of Insight, YouthWorks, Think New Mexico. So choose whatever charities you want the user to be able to access, and they'll be able to choose their charity. And then we'll put another label, for them to input their credit card info. Let's do this. How much would you like to donate? I'll put that there. Again, font size would be nice. Bold it. You got to make this smaller, obviously. And here we'll have a text box underneath. We'll make it numbers only. That way they can put in numbers. And they can choose how much money they want to donate. Okay. Can we make this a little bit better? No, that's fine. That's fine. So then there's that. So they can choose a charity. They can put in how much money they would like to donate. I don't know why I capitalized much. And then we need them to be able to put the credit card information in and then confirm. So the credit card information. Okay, so I'm going to take a layout. I'm going to just put it here just as a spacer. Make the height 5% or so. And then I'm going to grab a user interface and I'm going to put a label here. And I'm going to put credit card, or I'll just put input. Input your credit card. Well, they might be using a credit card. They might be using a debit card. Input your financial information. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much trouble. Okay. And we're going to make this larger. We're going to add, we're just going to have text boxes. So we're going to have a text box for the name, address, credit card number, and we'll just leave it at that. It's more complicated than that usually, but this is a minimum viable product. We're going to make the width about 60 for each of these, just to make them look kind of nice, make them large enough for people to be able to put things in. And you might be thinking, how is the user going to know what to put in here? So for each one, right, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put in the hint. So the users will be able to see the hint before they type into the box. So they'll put first name, last name, address for this one. And then for this one, it will be credit card number. We'll just leave it at that, right? When you're buying something, there's usually more than that, but you get this isn't going to actually work. It's a minimum viable product, as we talked about. So that's good enough for me. And then we're just going to put a button at the bottom for them to confirm. So I'm going to make a spacer here. We'll make the height of this 20. That should be fine. Grab a button, plop it down, boom, and then we'll make this one confirm payment, confirm donation. That way they can donate, boom, and they'll be good to go. Let's bold it. Let's make it large. Round it out, add a color if you want. That's completely up to you. But this will be our donation screen. Our next screen is going to be this, right? So where the users can choose what they're picking up. Okay, so I'm going to add another screen, and I'm going to call this the food screen. Hit OK, and it'll open up a new blank phone for you. So our other screens are still up here. Don't worry about them. We're going to make this screen where they can kind of shop, quote unquote, right? It's free food, but we'll let them shop and choose kind of what they want, right? Because that's always nice. So our first label will be choose a location. So obviously they have to figure out, okay, where am I going to pick up this food? Or where is this food coming from at the very least, right? Because there's several different, I'll make that 30. There's several different align horizontal center on that. I'm doing too many things at once. So food screen, align horizontal center. Label, I just made it font size 30 and I bolded it. We're going to look at the food banks in Santa Fe. We're not going to put all of these on here, right? Because some of these are churches, some of these are food depots, some of these are food banks. It just kind of depends on what you want to put in there. We're going to let them choose. So we're going to put another spinner. I'm going to make the width about 50%. And in this spinner, we'll let them have different choices, right? So I'm just going to put 3 in there. I'm going to put Food Depot. I'll put Salvation Army, and I'll put Food Distribution Center. Bag in hand, I guess. What is this? What is this? Bag in hand pantry. Okay. So I'm going to put Salvation Army, Food Depot, and Bag in hand pantry. So I'm going to put Salvation Army, comma, space, Food Depot, comma, space, bag in hand, I think is what it was. Close enough. If you want to put more, just put a comma, space, and then put a next one, another one, okay? So they can choose a location now. Now we want them to be able to choose the foods that they want to be able to pick up. So we're going to do this in a kind of a strange way. I'm just going to do one, and then you guys can do more of them. So first off, we're going to do a label that says, what would you like to pick up? Right? Bold it, make it big enough so you can see it. I'm going to add a layout here just as a spacer with a height of like, I don't know, 3% or so. And then we're going to put in our items, okay? So just follow along. This might get a little hairy. I'm going to put a vertical arrangement in here. And this vertical arrangement is going to hold all our food. So I'm going to make the height of it, let's try 60 and see how big that is. That's good, perfect. Width about 90. And if I started throwing things in here, right? So don't do this, but it's just an example. If I started throwing things in here, they're going to stack top to bottom, okay? But I want, like, if this was the button to add something to the cart, right, to pick up, I have no way to label anything to the left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete these. I'm going to add a horizontal arrangement into here, okay? So I'm going to go to horizontal arrangements. I'm going to add, we're going to do 3 for now, just as examples. And we're going to make the height of these 10% maybe. Yeah, 10% should work well. 10, 10, 10 for the heights. And then for the widths, fill parent for each of them. And if you want to do more than 3, you can, but I'm just going to do 3. Then what we're going to do is we are going to input pictures. So pictures of the food that people might want to eat, okay? So I'm going to use my logo example to just as a placeholder. You guys would find pictures and upload them. And I'm going to make this image height is 10% for the image. Width 20 would probably work well. You might want to do 8 height and width maybe 15. You guys will play around with it. All right, so let me do 8, 15 on each of these. 8, 15. Height 8, width 15. And I'll put the pictures in here too. Again, you'll use actual pictures of whatever foods you want them to be able to choose. One thing we got to do, I just noticed. For each of these horizontal arrangements in here, we should align vertical center. That way everything will be centered vertically on it to make it look a little bit nicer. And then we want to put a description in here, so we'll put a label for each. Okay. And these labels will say things like bread, you know. We're not going to get super specific with it. We're going to keep it, you know, pretty simple. I'm just changing the font size to 20, bold, and then put the label in, you know, eggs. You know, do you want eggs when you go? Bold, 20, you know, milk. You want to pick up some milk from the food bank, right? And you'll have, you know, pictures of bread, eggs, and milk in here instead of the one that I uploaded. The next thing we need is a way for the users to indicate that they want that, right? Because this is just a picture and this is just a label. If I clicked on these things, it wouldn't do anything. So we're going to put a checkbox in here. Now, don't do this right now, but if I put a checkbox, it will just go right next to here, right? And I can't move it over, really. It'll just be weirdly in the center. So I'm going to delete that. What we're going to do is we're going to take another horizontal arrangement and put that inside of this horizontal arrangement. We're going to make the height the same, 10%. We're going to make the width fill parent. And we're going to make align horizontal right. Now, if I did everything correctly, if I take a checkbox and put it in here, it's on the right side now. The only thing I got to do, which I forgot to do, was align vertical center. And now that checkbox is there, I can get rid of the text, I mean. So it's just a checkbox. Maybe put a couple spaces in there. You know, never mind. That doesn't do anything. We'll just keep the checkbox there. Can we make it larger? Let me try. 10% height, 10% width maybe. That doesn't seem to do anything. I'm going to keep it automatic. So that's good, right? So I'm going to do the same thing for each one. Layout, horizontal arrangement, boom. Width, fill parent, height, 10%. Align horizontal right, align vertical center. Go and grab the checkbox, put it in there, get rid of the text. Now you got a box for them to click on, okay? Do the same thing with this one. Let's move on to the buttons at the bottom. The buttons are easy, right? So the buttons are, let's make one button complete order, and then we'll make one button that says like backwards. Let's go back. So we're just going to take a layout here, horizontal arrangement, plop it at the bottom, width 90%. Height, just do fill parent. And then we're going to take some buttons, throw a couple buttons in here. The first button is going to be our back button. The second button is going to be our complete order button. We're going to make them bold. We're going to make them larger so they're easy to see. You can change the colors. I'm not going to mess around with it. Change the colors, change the shapes if you want. Doesn't matter. Layout, spacer. Width of this, 50%. Too much. 30%. I'll put 40. 30% is probably correct. There we go. You might be able to do 35, but you guys get the idea. Now that we have a back button and a complete order button. So let's go over everything. Okay. Screen 1 is the main thing. They can donate food. They can get free food. There's also a way to change the language. They can go to the donate screen and donate money to specific charities by putting in their credit card information and confirming their donation. And then we have the food screen where users can browse the different food banks and then select what food they want to order or have ready for them when they go to the food bank. They can click on what they want. They can complete order. And you can always add more to this if you want. We're just doing 3 as an example. Okay, so that's the skeleton of this. Change the colors, get creative with it, do what you want to do. We'll add the code to it later, and we'll try and make it look a little bit better later. But this is a good start. So if you got any questions, let me know. Just do your best to try and make it how you want to make it. Play around with the properties. And that's basically it. And then later, we'll fix up the code.